We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Tuesday, July 21st here in Seoul. I'm Isujin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Pooyeong.
Hello, happy Tuesday!
Happy Tuesday! Also, Cheska's with us.
Tuesday, everyone.
Happy Tuesday! And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So we're on day 2 of the work week, and whether it's been smooth sailing or a bit of a struggle, we've got the perfect topic to lighten the mood. Today we're taking a trip down memory lane first with some of the questions we all heard growing up and finding out what our answers say about us now. And speaking of childhood, let's start with an age-old question almost everyone has been asked at least once. Who'd you like better, your mom or your dad? And as a child, did you enjoy hanging out more with your mom or your dad? Young?
I hate that question. I
could already see it from your face.
Yes, right? I'm an only child and I have,
okay.
Yes. I
enough.
struggle when I have to answer those questions. But anyways, my mom's tuning it right now. And I'm pretty sure my dad's not. So I think we know the answer, right? But still, jokes aside, I think it really depended on the activity that I did with my parents. So I was a very active child.
Okay.
So I loved hanging out with my dad because I could, play catch, run around, just go hiking. But at the same time, as I said, I'm an only child, so I had the privilege of being able to hug my mom all the time. Yeah, so naturally we spent a whole lot of time together, and I really loved, talking with my mom because I felt like she knew me better than I knew myself, and our conversations were always so interesting. But yeah, all in all, I loved both. I loved hanging out with both. Yes.
Was your mom's watching?
Yes.
Hi,
Mom.
So actually, I'm also only child, and I can't really relate to having your parents' attention. As a kid, I was like, I wish I had a sibling, but now that I'm older, now I'm actually kind of reveling in the fact that I have all my parents' attention, so I do relate to this. So Cheska, what about you? I know you're the complete opposite of both of us.
So let me tell you the reality of what it's like to have 2 younger siblings. Jokes aside, but Pooyeong is kind of like my desired mom-daughter relationship when I was growing up because I had 2 younger siblings. So there's 3 of us. So mama's attention has to be divided. And as the eldest, I sort of have to take that responsibility of taking care of younger siblings. So our family is very interesting, and I'm glad we're both on the talk show today because our family is incredibly independent.
Ooh, I see.
We all live separately. We all became independent as soon as we became adults. And even with my mom, not only because she lives in the States, all of our families see each other maybe twice a year, annually. Yeah, it's a very important family gathering, but we live separately, we kind of take care of our lives separately, but there is definitely that family connection that is still there.
I think my mom would want to raise me as you.
It's a very desired, child.
Because she has an independent child.
Yeah.
Right, she's an independent child, as you should be as an adult. So it really shows how family dynamics can differ depending on the culture and how you were raised. So we're going to talk more about this, but first, let's take a look at the screen. One of the most awkward questions you can ask a child is, who do you like more, your mom or your dad? But in Korea today, a new trend has emerged where being exceptionally close to your mom isn't just accepted, it's considered something to be proud of. For many young women in Korea, their moms have become their closest companions, with some even joking that it's replaced dating. So today on News Generation, we explore what it exactly means to be a mama's girl in Korea, new slang surrounding this trend, and why it's moms that are at the center of it all. Just as we saw in a video, the relationship between mothers and daughters seem to be taking on a whole new meaning among young Koreans. So rather than being seen as overly dependent, it's increasingly almost becoming a badge of honor to have that close relationship with your mother. But how has the image of the mama's girl changed in recent years, Cheska?
So interesting enough, I think all of us could agree. In the past, if you call somebody, oh, you're such a mama's boy or you're mama's girl, it often carried sort of a negative image and connotations. But interesting enough, there has been a new term or new trend that is coming in, and so a new term that labels people who love their mom and is obsessed with their mom, and it's called 엄미세. And in Korean, Buyong is definitely one of them. And it means someone who loves their mom so much and obsessed with them that you hang out with them almost like a best friend, like a bestie. And it's so popular nowadays that there's a hashtag on social media that I looked up, and you post videos and vlogs of going on dates with mom, going to trendy places, brunches, dining with moms. And one of the funniest thing I saw, and Puyong actually told me, so I looked it up, on the Instagram, there was another hashtag, and it's called freeze your mom.
Oh my gosh, that sounds intense.
Yeah,
What
it's
is
very
this?
intense, but it's like an intense love, like 동결 건조, 엄마, but you told me, yeah. So it's like, and there wasn't actually a hashtag which said, I love my mom so much that I wish she could stay with me forever.
Oh, I get that sentiment.
Yeah. So as we can see from these kind of virals, it is very clear that in the past, what it became as a negative image is now becoming a special new label, which is cute and also entertaining.
I feel like a lot of people who, especially those who are close to their parents, might actually seriously consider, for example, like not getting married if they have the guarantee of having their parents with them forever.
Right, and I think the hashtag freeze your mom is kind of that line. I want to live with my mom forever. I don't want to marry anybody else, so can I please have her stay with me? Yeah.
Right, that's quite interesting. So it is interesting how something that once carried a negative stereotype has been completely rebranded and has evolved so much. And instead of hiding how close they are to their moms, many young women are now putting that relationship front and center on social media. And it's not just about spending more time together. The kind of time they're spending together has also changed as well. So what makes these mother-daughter social media posts stand out to you?
Well, if you think about it, in the past, when people uploaded posts featuring their parents, it was mostly about, showing others that they're fulfilling their filial duties. Like,
very true.
Yeah, sending your parents on vacation, buying them a car, buying them a luxury bag,
Right.
or just spending, good quality family
Like
time.
on a special holiday.
Yes. But these days, I think it's more about going on dates with your mom.
Actually having fun.
Yes, having fun, just like you would hang out with your friends or your partner. And I think that is a very big part. So, for instance, you go to Seongsu, the trendiest place in Seoul, and check out a cool pop-up store. Or you go to an art museum for an exhibition you wanted to check out, or have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine at a cozy cafe. And remember, you're doing all of this with your mom. And
It may sound like a date, but
yeah,
it's with your mom.
It's with your mom. And then you share this online on social media. So it has officially become a trend with the word 엄미세 becoming a new meme.
And I think it's beautiful. It's so interesting that it's actually being celebrated, the way relationships are. So I think that's quite interesting. So rather than simply spending time together out of family obligation, many mothers and daughters are choosing to enjoy the same hobbies, the same trends and experiences, much like close friends would. And that naturally raises the question, why is this trend resonating with so many young people today? And to find out, we'll be speaking with a self-proclaimed mom-crazy mama's girl as well. So that conversation is coming out right after break, so stay with us.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
We're joined now by Tae, who considers her mom to be her best friend and also proudly embraces the title of being a mama's girl. So hello, Tae. Thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Good to have you on. So, Tae, what makes you a mama's girl, someone who's mom crazy, and what qualities do you think define one?
First, thanks for having me. For me, being a mama girl means having a relationship built on trust, friendship, and open communication. My mom isn't just my parent, she's also my best friend and the first person I want to share everything with. So some people think being a mama's girl means you're dependent, but I actually think it shows strengths. So that's why I believe there are three qualities that define a true mama's girl. First is open communication. You learn to express your feelings honestly and ask for advice without feeling embarrassed. And second is respect. Growing up with a close relationship teaches you to value your mom's experience and wisdom. And finally, confidence. So knowing someone who always supports you gives you the courage to become more independent. So to me, being a mama's girl isn't about the dependence. It's about having a loving foundation that helps you grow into the person you are.
Wow, very well put. I'm a little touched.
I was actually getting emotional.
Yeah, right?
honestly.
Okay, then how have attitudes toward daughters who are close to their moms changed? And how have people reacted to your close relationship with your mom?
That's a really interesting question. So, in the past, people often thought that being very close to your mom meant that you weren't independent. If you relied on your mom too much, people might call you dependent. But nowadays, I think that attitude has really changed a lot. So, more people value emotional health and open communication. They realize that you can be close to your family while still being independent too. So, in my experience, most people react very positively to my relationship with my mom. So, I go concert with my mom too and drink a morning coffee every Saturday morning.
Wow.
So, my friend admires how close we are, and many of them wish they had that kind of relationship with their parents too. So, sometimes people are surprised at first, but once they see that I make my own decision and live independently, they understand that my mom simply supports me. She doesn't make choices for me.
You gave such beautiful answer. I think all of us got slightly emotional just hearing that. And I will definitely be one of those people who envy that I had that kind of relationship with my mom. So lastly, it's a very important question. Why is your mom your favorite person? Maybe in terms of the values that she gave or things that she taught you?
Honestly, that's a really easy question for me. So, my mom is my favorite person to spend time with because I can completely be myself around her. In most areas of life, we put on a bit of a mask to try to present our best selves. But with my mom, there's a zero pressure. I don't have to pretend or explain myself or try to impress her. We also share the same sense of humor, so we laugh together all the time. And no matter what we're doing, whether we're traveling or going grocery shopping, she always make it more enjoyable. So spending time with her feels comfortable, fun, and relaxing. So to me, she's not only my mom, but also my best friend and biggest supporter. So I think that's why she'll always be my favorite person to hang out with.
That is like the sweetest thing ever. And I'm sure that your mom will be watching this. So then before I let you go, one more question. What is your favorite thing about your mom? What do you love most about her?
My favorite thing that I love my mom is actually I thought it before, but the best thing is that she's my biggest supporter. So that means and we can make time together so we can go on shopping or go in concert or drink coffee every time I want because she's always in my home. So that's the biggest thing I love. I have my best friend near with me.
I know you're lucky to have a great mom, but I feel like your mom is also really lucky to have a daughter who thinks so highly of her. So
Really?
So yeah, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your relationship and your stories with your mom today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we just heard how being a mama's girl has really evolved from a negative stereotype into something that many young women now proudly embrace and also strive for, and why spending time with their moms has become such a meaningful part of everyday life. And as the trend has grown, people have even come up with a checklist to see just how mom crazy or how much of a ommise, which is a slang in Korean, someone who's crazy about their mom, you are. So the more of these applying to you, the higher your mom score, your mom crazy score is. So if 0 to 1 applies to you, means you're fairly independent. 2 out of 3 of those suggest you have a friendship-like bond with your mom. And if all 4 apply, congratulations, you're officially mom crazy. So we're going to talk about how many of these mom crazy traits describe you. So we're looking at the traits that are on screen right now. So first one, so our panelists have their yes or no paddles with them. So the first one is, when I find a cute cafe or great food, I think of my mom first. Yes or no?
Oh my God.
So Cheska and Buyong, yes or no for you guys?
Yes.
A no for you,
That's a no
Cheska.
for me.
Yes for Buyong. So who do you think of first then, Cheska?
I usually don't think of anyone, to be honest.
Yourself and how much you might enjoy this,
but
maybe?
perhaps, or like if the cafe reminds a particular episode or something, I might say, oh, I remember Sujin would really like this, or like we don't talked about this the other.
Whoever's like directly relevant
related to it.
All right, I see. So
I'm feeling I'm gonna fail this miserably.
the next one is, I tell my mom everything from my day to my friends and dating life. So yes or no?
I mean,
No, for
you
me
actually
as well, I don't.
we need to hear this.
I'm so curious.
Well,
to talk to
I'm
my
more
mom
of a listener, so my mom would tell me these things, but I don't really go up to her and tell everything that happened in my day. Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm just, better at listening, I would say.
So you do talk to her every day?
I do, yes,
So you
I
listen to
do.
her, I guess, her
Yes,
everyday life, her
yeah,
friends.
yes.
I see.
I don't know what we talk about.
I know. I was
though.
just about to say the same thing.
Yeah,
You're also a great daughter then.
Oh,
Yeah.
Such a great
you.
listener.
The third one is, I get emotional whenever I see a touching mom-related scene on TV. Yes or no? I think this would be a yes for
I would say
everyone.
no. I would say no.
But I would say Cheska, you're pretty empathetic person.
I know. Mom is just one other category.
One other
sky
category.
over, yeah.
So the last one is, I'd rather spend time with my mom than go out with my friends. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not watching.
So, because I guess how many of these apply to you? I think
3 out of 4, yes.
So I guess you would be a bit
just
mom
one
crazy.
short of
one
being
short.
mom crazy.
Cheska?
I got one.
I mean, this means you are independent.
I'm very independent. I love my mom.
Right, so these are, I mean, honestly, both things too, I feel like, to celebrate in this. So beyond the fun labels and online memes, there is a bigger question then behind this trend. So why are more young people, other than you, I guess, I guess like me and Buyong, becoming more mom crazy, I guess?
Yeah, so interesting enough, I think many young people actually turn to their moms or their parents because of relationship fatigue. And it's very common among young people because they're being exhausted trying to form a relationship or expand their social circles. So they turn to someone, as our interviewer said, someone they can trust and support them unconditionally. Actually, in fact, in a recent survey by Korea Research found that overwhelming 94% of respondents between age 18 to 29 said they prefer having a few deep relationships rather than large social networks. 94? That's almost 100.
That's almost everyone.
Yeah, that's almost a lot of people. But there's another interesting survey as well. Just last year, a survey by PMI found that more than 70% of unmarried adult aged between 20 to 49 were not currently in a romantic relationship.
Wow, 70?
That's a big number.
It is.
But I kind of relate to, I don't know if it's like that I prefer or rather I have a choice of this, but I do have a very small group of friends, which is why I feel like I do then naturally end up hanging out with my mom more as well. So as many young people prioritize fewer but deeper relationships, it's perhaps no surprise that they're investing more time in the people who genuinely know them best, know them from birth. But that still doesn't explain one thing. So there's another thing that I'm quite curious about. Why not dads or other family members? So
Why not
Abby? As someone who is an only child, has been asked that question of deeper mom and dad. Why do you think this trend centers on moms in particular?
Well, first of all, love you too, Dad. But Korea is a society built on Confucian values, right? And Confucianism traditionally emphasized men being the breadwinners while women stayed home and took care of their children and family. And that naturally meant women or moms had to make sacrifices, right? Giving up their careers and friendships, becoming the stay-at-home mother, and making sure that their family's, good, their well-being is okay, like both mentally and physically. And I personally think Korea's education fever also played a big role.
Very much so,
Yes,
yeah.
in order to be the quote-unquote good mom, many moms would register their children to hagwon, cram schools, and be their driver, like free shuttle service, right? So these unconditional sacrifices are a big part of, why Korean sons and daughters have such a soft spot for their moms.
And that's more time spent with their kid when they're, like you said, taking them to these different places.
Definitely.
But this also makes me wonder because I feel like the trend has kind of shifted where now dads are more involved. So I wonder if we'll see maybe dad crazy movement in the future.
Maybe, I hope
so.
yes.
Right. So, I mean, this is a trend that we talked about in Korea and how Korea's family dynamics has shaped these relationships, and years of care and emotional support can naturally create an especially strong bond between mothers and their children. But of course, like any social trend, not everyone always sees this in a positive light. So then how is a mom crazy trend, do you think, viewed in other countries that obviously have different cultures, Jessica?
So when I first got the topic, it was very interesting for me because I grew up exactly half of my life in Korea and half of my life in the Western world.
Right.
So I think this can be seen from a multiple angle depending on the culture, because some critics actually do argue, especially from a Western perspective, that being too involved, in a relationship with mom or parents can deter someone from becoming independent. Because one of the reasons that we go out and form new relationship is so that we try to form understanding and empathy by trying to mingle and understand people who are vastly different from us. But if we limit our social circle and social interaction with people, especially family, that already knew us from the beginning and we don't have to put in too much effort to make them understand us or to understand them, that might actually, limit the kind of social capacity that we can build. So that is one angle. However, there are countries, in Asian cultures, and especially like Southern Europe, like Italy, Mamma mia.
Right.
They very much value family cohesion.
Right.
So in the Western culture, there's more emphasis on independence, but I don't think independence necessarily mean it's not close. It's just they see parents more as a companion and a friend they respect, and perhaps a life mentor that they kind of turn to when things get tough. Yeah.
So this kind of makes me wonder, to end on a more personal note, Jessica, for you then, what is a healthy, ideal relationship with your parents or your mom?
Wow, to me personally, that is probably one of the hardest questions I've gotten on News Generation, really, because I think family dynamic, and some of our viewers may agree, is I think the hardest task that you have to figure out to find out what is a healthy family relationship. Because when you're too close, you get too angry and too irritated. When you're too far, obviously you miss them too much. So I think there's a difference between closeness and respect and independence. And I'm trying to learn the right balance, because as our interviewer mentioned so beautifully, just because you're ommise does not necessarily mean it doesn't qualify the conditions that she talked about, being confident, being independent, and being respectful. So I think a healthy relationship is any type of distance that is able to meet those criteria. Yeah.
I think, like you said, finding the right balance is so important, but it's not always easy to actually execute.
So not easy.
And I like what you said, and I like what you said earlier about how life does feel comfortable and so easy to always spend time with, for example, your mom. But you realize as you meet a broader group of circle of friends, they bring different perspectives, and you learn different things. And you find out more about yourself too, and sometimes being uncomfortable is an area of growth as well.
Like you have to learn how to handle struggles. You have to learn how to, understand differences. You have to learn how to, cope with stress from other people.
Right.
Yeah,
So finding that right balance is ideal, but not always easy. So what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I resonate with what Jessica said as I get older, especially because, when I was younger, I would just, play with my mom all the time, just stay with her, and I would be okay. But as I grew older, I think it is really important to find that balance that you mentioned. But at the same time, I do think, more and more people becoming mom crazy is a good phenomenon, all in all, because it not only gives you a chance to hang out with your mom and spend, quality time, but it also gives your mom a chance to get a little younger, right? And enjoy all the things they may have not had the chance to experience because they had to sacrifice themselves so much. So from that perspective, I think it is a good phenomenon. But at the same time, I do think you need to strike a good balance between depending too much on your mom and maintaining a best friend-like relationship. Because in the end, I think the healthiest version is being close enough to be best friends, but at the
Right.
same time, independent enough to
Yes.
stand on your own.
Right, very well put. So the mom crazy trend may sound unusual at first, but it reflects broader changes in how young people build meaningful relationships. For many, family has become a source of comfort, companionship, and stability. Ultimately, what's most important is that those relationships remain healthy and mutually supportive. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. But News Gen will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time with more stories and discussions. A big thanks to Puyong
Thank you.
and also Cheska.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching. And if you're mom crazy like me, you're probably going to soon hear your mom's review of today's show. We are News Generation.